However, Bella had a great sense of direction around her house and could use her other senses quite well. Still, the owner didn't normally go on trips like this, as she hated tearing Bella away from her familiar territory and couldn't leave her alone either because of some abandonment issues. But in this case, there was a funeral that she had to go to, so that's where I came in. I was basically supposed to live at her house for 3 days and 2 nights to make sure the dog was getting all the attention she needed, plus the usual dog-sitting tasks. Bella herself was a large boxer with a lot of energy, and despite the blindness, she was a very sweet and well-mannered dog. My neighbor trusted me since she knew my parents, and aside from asking that I spend as much time with Bella as I could, the only other major thing she pointed out was that her bedroom door had to stay shut while she was gone. The first day went perfectly fine. I got Bella to feel pretty comfortable around me, and I did everything I was supposed to. I ended up falling asleep on the couch with Bella next to me. I was in the house all throughout the next morning too, until around lunchtime, and my friends invited me to hang out for the day. I hadn't left the house at all yet, so I figured I could be away for a few hours and everything would be all right. My friends picked me up from the house, as only one of us had a car at the time. Then we hung out until sunset. They wanted to stay out late, but I made them take me back so I wouldn't have a guilty conscience about abandoning Bella. I'd only been away for a few hours, but as soon as I got back into the house, I felt like I screwed up. Bella was acting completely different, like barking and growling and backing away from me. I figured this was her abandonment issues acting up, and I did the best I could to console her and regain her trust. Unfortunately, nothing I did seemed to put her at ease. She had no interest in eating her dinner and no response to the leash, and no willingness to approach me even when I called her name with treats in my hand. I decided to sit on the couch and watch TV until she calmed down, but several minutes later, Bella was acting the same way again. I noticed she seemed to be staring down the hallway, even though she couldn't see, like she could sense something from that direction that was making her growl. I thought if I explored that area for her, then she would calm down. So I walked down to the end of the hall. Bella followed me halfway, but she stopped right before her owner's bedroom door. She sniffed under the door for a few seconds, then out of nowhere, she went back to being just as aggressive as she was. When I first walked in, barking and posturing, I knew I wasn't supposed to open that door, but I also knew that Bella wouldn't calm down until she checked it out. Reluctantly, I turned the handle and cracked the door open. Bella pushed past right away and went a few steps into the bedroom and became quiet and stopped to sniff the air intensely. Gradually, she inched closer to the bed, then stuck her snout underneath it. Immediately, she jumped back and started snarling and chomping at the air in front of her. All the hairs on her body were sticking up. My stomach began to churn. I remember a lump forming in my throat too, as I tried to call out to whatever Bella thought was there. "Hey, is anybody there?" "You better not be." I swear there is no reply, just more of Bella's barking. I knew I had to look. My hand shook as I pulled out my phone's flashlight, got down on my hands and knees and looked under the bed. From the doorway, a pair of human eyes glared back at me. Shells ran through my body as my fight or flight instinct kicked in. I stood up, grabbed Bella and carried her out of the room, slammed the door behind me and locked us in the spare bedroom. I called the police that instant, then waited anxiously for them to arrive. A few minutes later, they came, but the intruder had already fled the same way. They broke in through the bedroom window. Clearly, whoever they were, they thought the house would be empty and they had planned to hide until they could ambush the owner when she got back. Unfortunately, since I didn't get a good look at their face, the police weren't able to